Oh no, Troy is asleep. Troy, I know we've been away for a minute, but you need to be awake now. It's season 4 of Who's There? This is the premiere episode. Wake up! Wake up! This is like the Wiggles. Wake up, Troy! Wake up!
What's up? What's up, Crispy?
Sir, you're currently snuggled in a Sonic blanket, and we need to film season 4 of Who's There. Hurry up, we're already late.
That's not for a couple more weeks, mate. That's not...
No, we're already late.
What? Are we?
Wake up.
When's the next episode?
Right now, we're filming it.
Oh, well, let's get into it. Here's their Doc 2 podcast. Roll the intro.
Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Crispy, his name is Troy, and we're the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. And today, we're back for Season 4 of Who's There, talking about Season 2 of Doctor Who. Troy, how are you, my boy?
Let's go! Wait, Doctor Who's still a thing? It's not been cancelled?
Yeah. No, not yet.
Oh, good,
Soon.
good, because everyone on Twitter seems to think it's going to be, and I just ignored it because, man... 1 month away, and I've escaped the Doctor Who Twitter stuff, and it's almost as if like the internet knew we were going to be recording again soon. And I've started to see things come back in, and everyone's currently talking about how the show's apparently going to get cancelled. It's not.
Well, we're going to talk about that today as well.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, because today we're talking about Doctor Who Season 2 theories. We are a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. We asked you guys to call in about your Season 2 theories. No, don't get out the lightsaber, dang it. I knew it was risky having a Star Wars reference with this
Season
boy
4, baby, and
chat.
it took us 5 minutes for a lightsaber. 5 minutes. But we're so back. We have never been more back.
We have never been more back. But Troy, how are you? How's life? What's going on? What's kicking? Can we talk about that?
Crispy. We've both had very different antics happening in the last month, Very different. Yours so. Definitely more serious than mine, but, but mine's a big change in that, we opened this podcast by talking about how I was, a payday content creator and I do payday things. Well, I started the year by making a pledge that I wasn't just going to do payday anymore. And I was like, I'm going to do non-payday stuff too. I did a review for Sonic 3. It's a film I've seen once or twice. I'm not that invested
Once or
in
twice?
It,
How many times?
5 times.
My goodness.
But I honestly, unironically, I know like hyperfixations are a big thing with me and like I get very invested in stuff. Genuinely, it's already been more than a month since I've seen it. Probably one of my favourite films I've ever seen. I absolutely adore it. And
got very good reviews. You're not the only one to say it. I'm impressed that Sonic 3 is like everyone's favourite. We're going to watch it together,
like in a movie night. I'm going to get us to watch it. Not even for a podcast, just you and me, mate. We need to do a movie night. But yeah, I started the new year like I'm going to do some different stuff, and didn't quite plan it to go down this way. But I also withdrew my partnership with the Payday developers not 2 days ago at the time of us recording this. So it's been turbulent.
Can you explain to what exactly that was? That I'm quite familiar with the partnership program.
I was partnered with the developers. Basically, it was like a mutual recognition of like me wanting to work closely with the developers behind Payday and them wanting to support my content. And like I've left on amicable terms. Like I have nothing but love for people who work there. But let's just say, if you're not in the sphere of Payday, it's better that you're not, because it's a bit of a toxic space at the minute. I know content creators don't really help, but we're kind of spreading the news we have, and the news isn't good. It's a vicious cycle. But the general gist you need to know is that it's a very common feeling in the community right now that the higher up people governing over the decisions of Payday are not making decisions with the company in mind. There's layoffs in the air. There's funding pulls, team movements, and just general bad decisions. And it just got to a point where there was one too many, and I went, I think I need to just disconnect. So still do Payday stuff, but just do it for being a fan again. So
yeah,
it's been a crazy first month to the year, man. I thought it'd be quite quiet, and
mental.
Then I worked it out. I'm 25 years old. That was why I actually had to work out. It took a really long time to work that out. No, I'm 25 years old, and I've been a partner with them for just over 5, like a fifth of my life. I've been a partner. And it was funny because I said that to my mum when I was like saying to her, I think I'm going to withdraw the partnership. And I was like, it's crazy thinking I've been with them for a fifth of my life. She went, like laughing, going, listen to you thinking of your funny numbers. And then in the middle of laughing, she just stopped and I saw her eyes widen. And it was like she had this sobering thought of like, oh my God, yeah, fifth of your life. That's insane.
Yeah. That is wild. That is wild.
So I've had some hectic things in YouTube space. Have you been okay, mate?
I have been okay. Apologies to everyone for the late us coming back late to the podcast a week later. A lot of personal stuff going on. We had a big loss in the family, which was very, very sad. But we are back. We're fine. We're fine now. I think we just needed some breathing space. I really started the year strong, Troy. You have no idea. For 12 days, I was working out in the morning and then working out in the night. I was like, we're not having any like alcohol. We're eating really, really well. And then we had this loss of the family, and I just like stopped working out. I was like, oh, well, this is bad. This is bad. But it's almost February now. It'll be February when this episode releases. And I'm feeling better. The family's doing well. I'm doing well. And I'm back doing what I love, which is talking about Doctor Who with my best bud, Troy. And that's it.
Oh, too right. Too right. I feel
right.
like we should start New Year promises, New Year goals in February. Like we should stop doing... I mean, I think I'm not the first person to have said this. There's definitely people out there who go, don't do January, do February. But, like, twice this month I've been like, oh, I'm starting a diet. And at the start of the year I was like, my diet's going really well a week. I think you liked my tweet about it. I've been so far off the diet the last couple of weeks, it's been insane. I'm just like, you know what? Starting in February.
You got to see how many Uber Eats bags are in my recycling right now. It's crazy.
Mate, if it wasn't expensive to get Uber Eats shipped here, like, I'd do it more. I'm getting far too comfortable with a Sonic blanket on me, mate. I've got to be honest with you. Like, it's just... this is so snuggly.
What do you mean shipped? Are you getting your Uber Eats by sea?
Yeah, they're actually delivered from Egypt. That's the closest I can get them from.
Wow. Some Egyptian cuisine? No wonder it's expensive, Troy. Crikey Moses. All right, yeah, cool.
When I went to Egypt as a kid, the only thing I wanted to eat was jelly.
Jelly?
It's a fun fact about me, yeah, because I'm such a fussy eater, especially when I was a kid. For some reason, at that point that I went to Egypt when I was like 9 years old, the only thing I wanted was jelly.
Hey, fair enough. Jelly's pretty good.
Don't get jelly.
I don't mind jelly at all.
Yeah, there we go. I don't like that we both made the same joke, but I also love it. I've missed this.
Wait, what was the joke?
We both said you were jelly.
Oh, no, I said I don't mind jelly. Just state the fact.
I thought you said you were getting jelly.
No.
I'm hearing things, man. I'm hearing things. See,
well,
I'm just expecting the jokes from you, you know?
Do you want to hear some other things from our beautiful listeners?
Nah, not really.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to another episode of Who's There. I've been Crispy. He's been Troy. Love and peace. Mwah.
Alonzi, baby.
Alonzi. No, don't. Keep listening.
I might actually put the intro music out there for a second, just for the jokes. Just for the jokes. Oh, does anyone believe it? No. We got some callers.
Yeah,
and you've got to go to work at some point, so we shouldn't really dawdle. I want to hear what people have thought. I've missed hearing the thoughts of our listeners. You know, we talk about Troy's thoughts, but I want to hear callers' thoughts. I'm going to take the blanket off, and I'm going to fling it with dramatic air, and it kind of worked. So let's go.
Nice.
Let's have some thoughts on season 2 of Doctor Who.
Here is Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Oh, no, not hello, Stephen. Our first call of the year. It's already a technical difficulty. That's incredible.
It's good to be back, baby. It's good to be back.
Good to be back.
It's all staying in.
Where is he? I've lost him now. Oh, there he is.
Oh, no.
Hi, Troy and Crispy. First time caller here. My season 2 theories. Well, since watching the teaser trailer for season 2, that very brief shot of Mrs. Flood that we get, something tells me it's not in the same scene as the cinema with the character coming out of the screen. Just because when I look back at the clip, it almost looks like a busier and slightly different environment. And also, she's looking through those sort of opera glasses, but away from the screen. So I wonder what she could be looking at. What do you think?
Mrs. Flood, the talk of the town for season 2.
She's looking at Doctor Who Twitter and saying, "What's going on in that hellhole?"
Yeah. If that would be amazing if that happened. Russell wrote that in as
they've
a
already
response.
gone Twitter quite a few times, so it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Which, speaking of that cartoon character, I think Russell T Davies said, I think in the latest Doctor Who magazine, that the voice of that cartoon is I think it said a much loved Doctor Who family member or something like that.
Yeah. Let me find the quote for you. The cartoon man you saw, his voice is an old friend of the show. Guess who?
Mark Gatiss.
Everyone's saying Mark Gatiss.
I think it's a good bet.
I watched Thary's video and he's like, I'm going to put money on... who's the guy in Shaun of the Dead? What's that guy's name? Which one, now.
Simon Pegg or Nick Frost?
Simon Pegg. That's what he reckons. Or,
is he a friend of the show? He was in one episode, oh my gosh, 20 years ago.
Oh wow, it is 20 years ago. We should do something for when Rose is 20 years old, the episode. Not the person.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need a moment.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
that's... Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's... To breathe that in. 2 decades, man.
Crispy, we're getting old, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I appreciate
know.
25 is not old, but allow me this bit of amateur dramatics. It's all I trained to do in school. We didn't have drama class. So allow me to feel, oh, it's going grey. My hair's going grey, Crispy.
Oh my gosh.
It's all over.
It's all over, Red Rover. Hey, let's hear from Zach. Hello, Zach.
Let's hear from Zach, yeah.
How are you?
Hello, Zach here. For Doctor Who's return in Season 2, I think that Anita from Joy to the World will be revealed to be a younger version of Mrs. Flood. I think she'll have grown in power after having worked in the Time Hotel, and she'll exact her revenge on the Doctor for abandoning her. I think this would tie well in the theme with family and friendships in the new era, and it would explain Mrs. Flood's slightly omniscient powers despite her being killed by Sutek. Also, wouldn't it be fun to have a master-based storyline? I think Russell T Davies does this really well. Anyway, allons-y.
And Aussie. Whoa, you're grinning your teeth. What's going on there?
I feel sad hearing theories about Anita because I'm so confident that she is just a one and done character, but because we all loved her so much, we're just like adamant that there has to be more to her. But I don't think even the show expected us to love Anita as much as we did.
No.
So every time someone's like, Anita's Mrs. Flood, I'm like, I don't think they've thought we'd like Anita that much for that to be the case. I don't know, man.
I get the vibe that they filmed Joy to the World after season 2. I don't think they did. But it feels
I don't
like
think they did because I think they gave us some idea of the timeline in Unleashed. I can't remember exactly. I know they filmed it before Ncuti's first Christmas special aired, before Church and Ruby Road aired, which is insane. I remember they said that.
That's mental.
Which I would stand to believe because didn't season 2 start filming while season 1 was happening or close enough to it? I think they probably did film it sequentially. I think.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think, considering that the script was Stephen Moffat's, and Russell, I'm sure, loves the episode, but I doubt Russell would have had that in mind. But it is funny. It's funny to think about because you know how Susan Triad, the real actress's name is Susan Twist, and she was the big twist. It is funny if Anita ends up being Mrs. Flood, considering the actress's name is Anita Dobson. Think about that.
True.
Think about that for a second. Russell is like messing with the actual actress's names being an Easter egg.
Is Anita's real name Anita, like the actress? That's what I'd be asking. And if it is, and is her surname bigger role in Doctor Who?
I wish. Just like how my last name is
out
future
loud there, as everyone
showrunner.
picked up on what I was going for there.
What are you saying?
Anita bigger role in Doctor Who.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, come on, mate.
Very nice.
On. I know it's
That's
early,
pretty
but
good.
get your act together, mate. My terrible jokes ain't going anywhere.
Hey, let's listen to Dr. Master. Hello.
Okay.
Hi, hope you all had a great new year and enjoyed your break off. My predictions for season 2 is that the stories are going to be so fresh and original, and it's going to be absolutely banging. I'm really excited for the new writers that have just been announced, especially Juno Dawson. I really want her to be showrunner. Get them women in the writing seat, right? I'm just so excited for that, and just to have these new voices be told. And I think it's going to be really great. So, yeah.
Please give
Fantastic.
Crispy a moment as he searches up the announcement for the new writers so he has the names ready to read, because I just know that's what you're doing, because I was about to do the same thing myself.
It's
like we never left, man. I love it.
How do you feel about the new writers? That's a big bit of news that I forgot about for a
especially
second.
Juno Dawson's had a lot of kick-up, because obviously she wrote the Doctor Who Redacted spin-off, the audio podcast, the first series of it. And also, did she write an episode of Class? Am I hearing correctly on that?
No. She wrote a book, a Jodie Whittaker novelization, and everyone's like, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. Everyone's like, it's so unbelievably good, and are very, very excited. But I think this is a really, really promising sign, because one of the major criticisms, I'm sure we might have said this as well, is that there was a lot of Russell in season 1, which makes sense. He's the new showrunner. He's excited. He's very, very excited. And Russell is a very talented and capable writer. But I think, hopefully, with these new 4 writers, there will be a bit of freshness, a bit of pizzazz. So the new writers are, of course, Juno Dawson, Inua Ellams, Pete McTighe is returning, and Sharma Angel Wellfall. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, but I am very, very excited. Juno Dawson wrote the global bestsellers The Book is Gay and Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and of course the thing that Doctor Who fans would know, the Doctor Who podcast series Doctor Who Redacted. And Anua has written a bunch of books to critical acclaim as well. Pete McTighe, we know, and he's like a big part of the war between the land and the sea, so I'm very curious to see
he is.
how that pans out. I watched an interview the other day with, what's his name? The guy that played Alonzo Toby. Oh, what is his name?
Russell Tovey?
Yeah, Russell Tovey. Russell Tovey. And he was describing what the vibe is like, because they were like, oh, so it's part of a Whoniverse, but what's the vibe of the show like? And he said, indie. He said it's like really indie filmmaking. So I'm just excited for a completely different vibe in a Doctor Who TV, because I know that Dylan Holmes Williams is such a capable director and he's directing all of that. So I'm keen for that.
So do you think now, based on the fact that it's almost, what I mean, almost guaranteed, it's absolutely guaranteed that season 2 is coming before the wall between the land and the sea?
Yeah.
Do you think Pete McTighe's episode is going to backdoor the wall between the land and the sea, or do you think that just happens to be a coincidence?
Now, very, very interesting, because this is good. This is why we're a Doctor Who podcast.
That's what we're here for.
Russell has said that when Disney came in and were like, yeah, we want Doctor Who, they commissioned 26 episodes, which were the 3 specials, all of Nshuti's episodes, and the 5 episodes for the spin-off. So, I'm wondering if Pete McTighe was on for this series. Russell saw the episode and was like, damn, this guy's good. He's worked on Doctor Who before. Let's bring him in. Or if they were like, oh, I want Pete McTighe for the spin-off show from the get-go. And then we're like, let's have a backdoor pilot in the thing. So, I can see it going either way, but I think...
I'm just saying both of the previous spin-offs in some way, shape or form were backdoored from the core show. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's heavily... units heavily involved, I imagine, in the war between the land and the sea. And in the trailer, we did see Kate Stewart. So maybe that's Pete's episode, the unit story with Ruby. We'll see.
Or maybe it's one of the unit stories. Maybe there's 2.
Too many unit stories and a whole.
But there's also one
show?
more question, Crispy.
Who's the last writer?
So, assuming Russell is writing the opening episode and also the 2-part finale, we have an 8-episode season. So that's 3 episodes written by Russell, 4 written by these writers that have been confirmed. Who writes the final episode that is yet to be accounted for? Is it another Russell one? Is it Moffat? Is it someone else entirely?
It might be. My money's on another Russell. I reckon Russell will do 2.
Most likely. I mean,
probably
the
like
argument that I know
mid-series.
I made with season 1 is that yes, Russell wrote the majority of all but 2 of the episodes. Yeah. All but 2. Yeah,
all but 2.
But like when you compare that to the number of episodes he wrote for his first series, the first go around, it's about the same. It's just that this series had far less episodes, so you felt it was far more Russell based when you got out the door. So, like now, you know, I would expect him to still probably write three storylines, even if it's 4 episodes, because that's still less than he would have done in his previous era. And I think he also did hand it off to more writers as time went by, right? Like had more of a show and a thing, because he also had to balance multiple shows. So it's a similar thing, I think. You know, he shepherds it to begin with and sets a clear direction, which, you know, people might go, oh, it's not clear, whatever. But let's just be the positive podcast. We're here to spread good vibes.
We are here to spread good vibes. I think there is a plan. I think there is a plan.
Yeah.
There's something.
For this podcast, there is, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're always the podcast.
Always
with a plan,
the podcast with a plan. Come on, man.
But I think Russell. Dare I say Russell is cooking? Dare I say the entree we got wasn't exactly as delicious as I would like, but I still ate it and had a great time. I finished my meal.
I think it had a great aftertaste. I think I enjoyed it when I first tasted it, and then the more it lingered in my mouth, the more I was like, do you know what? There's some nice spices here. You know,
yeah.
Some good stuff.
There's
one
good
bit
notes.
that tastes like it's quite far away from my mouth that I didn't quite gel with as much, but apart from that, you know.
Yeah,
this is poetry, mate. This is poetry.
Absolute poetry. And I should say before we move on, Sharma is the last writer, and she's written for Netflix, Disney Plus, BBC, a bunch of stuff, and she's very, very excited to be a part of the show. And the rumor on the street is that she has the spooky episode of the season. Ooh, I want to be scared
Doctor Who
from
in
Doctor
Squid
Who
Game,
again.
because she worked on Netflix. There's a connection.
Cool, man.
You seen Squid Game too?
Yeah, I loved it. Had a great time.
Yeah, I really liked it. That was good.
I
That
was
good.
like, how are they going to do? How are they going to top the first season? It was great. I couldn't look
I
away
was really
from my
impressed.
screen.
Lee Jung Jae, man, that dude, I absolutely adore that actor. He's so good.
Get him in Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Get him in Doctor Who.
Well, now he's not going to be another season of The Acolyte because it still got cancelled. So I'm bringing it up once more because did you see the news about the streaming figures for it?
That it was like, the second.
Yeah,
most
Disney
watched thing?
just willingly announced after saying that they cancelled The Acolyte due to poor viewing figures that they had 2.7 billion minutes watched in 2024 and was second only to a show that came out the year before Percy Jackson, which is just insane.
Yeah, that's cool. They're going to be like, Doctor Who will not be renewed for a season 3. However, it was watched 11 billion times.
Yeah, exactly.
It absolutely won't be. Anyway,
I'd like to just reinforce this is a podcast where we're never going to theorise about Doctor Who being cancelled unless Rusty Davies goes, mate, I don't know where we're going anymore. Like, unless we get some big signal like that, I'm never going to be like, Doctor Who's going to get cancelled, because people say it every other week, and it's silly.
Yeah.
Can we not just enjoy the show, people?
Well, Russell did briefly speak on that in Doctor Who magazine as I was just watching, very briefly, because I think he wanted to address it because he knows that it's been on everyone's lips, and he's like, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing here, but he was
Chill out, people.
It was basically Doctor Who will be forever. Like, it will be forever. So even if it gets cancelled in some form, it'll go back to the BBC. We've chatted about this a million times.
Yeah.
If Russell leaves, if everyone leaves, they'll get a new creative team in because the BBC are like, we need to make so many TARDIS teapots every year. We need to make it happen.
But if you're a new listener to Who's There, the point is we're a positive space here. We're not going to start saying every week that Doctor Who's going to get cancelled. It's just not going to happen. And you can call in via speakpipe.com/who's there. Check what the weekly call-in is and let us know your thoughts on what we're going to be talking about next. We got some good ideas to kick off this season, let me tell you.
Gosh, you're good. Oh,
mate,
Troy.
listen. It's like we never left. Cracks the knuckles. Let's come on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here is Louis J.
So for season 2, because they filmed a back-to-back with season 1 and don't know if they're going to get season 3, I think they're going to do what they kind of did with Jodie's last episode and leave it open-ended where it could have ended, but it can still continue, if that makes sense. Which is why I also think Belinda isn't going to continue with the Doctor into season 3, which I wish she would, because I want more than one season companions in RTD2. Yeah, good for you guys to be back.
It is good.
Thank you very much. Well, based purely on what
interesting.
you've said, like, we know that we're going to get a third season. I don't know how I feel about an open-ended thing. We know we're going to get picked up on either way, right? What do you think?
As in we'll get a season 3 regardless of anything. Yeah, in some capacity we will. I wouldn't be surprised that there is some kind of cliffhanger-y thing at the end of season 2. I reckon that's a pretty safe bet, that there will be something, whether it's Mrs. Flood talking to the camera again.
I better not be.
Or something else. I rewatched the last 10 minutes of Empire of Death the other day, and was
Sorry
like,
to hear that.
I was like, oh, gosh. Anyway.
I stand by. I still don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's just the pointing at the street thing. I'm still like, Russell, what happened there? But that's the only. I mean, you know my criticisms. I would have put the first 10 minutes of Empire Death at the end of Legend Ruby Sunday, remove the signpost thing, find another way to explain it, maybe go a bit more into the snow, and I'd have been all right with it. I'd still have a lot of fun with that final two-parter, despite what the common consensus seems to be.
Yeah. That we could talk about Empire of Death all day. I just wish there was some kind of conflict between Ruby and the Doctor, especially when Ruby finds out that the Doctor went back to the church on Ruby. There was no conversation being like, what, you never told me? Are you serious? What do you hide? There was never any kind of...
I thought he did tell her that you went back to save her.
Yeah, but there was no... I feel like that was a secret. Or something, there was never any...
Oh, what?
She was just like, oh, okay. Cool.
No, I didn't think it was a secret. Interesting.
Well, but I need to rewatch the whole thing.
See, this mixed perception, maybe that's part of it too. People interpret things differently. Russell, you're right. No, I'm joking. It's all Russell's fault. Blame Russell. Russell's the evil.
It's always Russell's fault. I
trust in the Davis. I trust in him. I'm sure he'd be delighted to hear that.
Absolutely delighted.
I'm bringing back all the
I
classics.
think...
We got any more references? How's Paul?
Oh, God. Fish and chips, Mike for fish and chips. What else have we got? Danny's
Crispy
sink.
segues. Give us a good segue.
Hey, dude, time to hear from the ant dude. This is
That's not bad. That wasn't bad at all.
This is ant dude.
Hello, Troy and Crispy. Dude here. Still trying to catch up on all your episodes. I probably won't by the time this one comes out. It'll be weird hearing my own voice. Anyway, my theory for season 2 or series 15 is that Ruby's involvement will be the same or similar to Martha's in series 4, where she only pops up for 1 or 2 episodes and maybe the finale. That's my theory. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you, ant dude.
I just feel like I keep talking at the start of every call, so I was just consciously shutting up this time because I'm like, I'm not taking in the entire airspace from you.
No, I was thinking the exact same thing just then.
Yeah, I love we both. What do you mean? Why are you thinking it? I'm the one cutting you off.
No, you're not.
I do feel like sometimes I speak more than you. I need to be conscious of that. Maybe I don't, but I don't know, whatever. But I do love that as he was saying that, both of us just kind of went, yeah, just nodded along. And I'm assuming that's the same man dude who's a regular viewer of my Twitch streams and YouTube videos, so it's nice to see him calling in over here. That's nice of you. Yeah, I don't know what he sounds like. He's only ever been like in text chat and stuff, so I'm assuming it's the same guy. It would make sense. Unless there's multiple ant dudes out there.
A whole colony.
A whole colony of them. Adam and the ants.
Oh my goodness. Very nice.
Mum will love that reference.
Ruby Sunday. Sunday.
I have a very similar feeling. Have felt that way like for a while. I think Ruby's story, like it was wrapped up in a sense, but also because of the shorter episode span and yada yada yada, we feel like we've not had enough of Ruby and the Doctor. And I think giving her that Martha-esque thing where she can pop in, she's already been with the Doctor a little bit, she's a bit wiser, she's got some stuff going on that you could still develop maybe slightly character-wise. I think it's a good opportunity. Crispy, your arm is raised.
I have a question for the class.
Oh, your question is?
I've crushed it. I've figured out the season just now.
There is one problem, though. You can't ask the questions to the class. Class got cancelled years ago.
Oh,
sorry.
Very nice.
The joke was right. It was right there. Okay.
So we were just chatting before about how many episodes is Russell T Davies writing.
Right.
Well, it's gonna be 4. The first episode, Ruby will not appear. We're introducing the new companion. Mid-season, Ruby's got to rock up. And it'll be, oh, what? Who's this? Oh, all that classic bants. And then they'll be back for the finale. So Ruby will be in 3 episodes, including the 2-part finale. And they will all be written by Russell T Davies. That's exact. I'm putting money on it now. I'm putting money right here on it now.
I agree. There is an argument you could make that the episodes in which Martha returns in Series 4, none of them were written by Russell T Davies. They were not. No, it was the Sontaran 2-part. Was it Helen Rayner? Was
Mirren.
it
Helen Mirren?
I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it's Helen Rayner. I used to have all the writer names memorized.
One of the only other, bless you, one of the only other female writers in New Who, by the way, which is ridiculous.
Insane. It was Helen Rayner. There you go. I feel happy
well
about
done.
that.
Good memory. Well done.
And the Doctor's daughter was Stephen Greenhorn, right? Because it's the same guy who wrote the absolute peak episode that is Lazarus Experiment. Yeah, Stephen Greenhorn. So, yeah, Russell didn't write any of Martha's returning episodes mid-season 4. Not impossible he didn't have a hand in them. He just didn't get an on-screen writing credit, so it can't have been any significant amount.
Russell
so it's possible Ruby could
everything.
come back. Well,
like
so
every single
it's possible
episode.
Ruby could come back and be written by a different writer.
But you're absolutely right.
Also, an argument you could make is that the writers who wrote Martha in Series 4 had all written for Martha in Series 3 already and already had an idea of her character. Because if I remember correctly, Helen Rayner did the Daleks in Manhattan 2-parter in Series 3, and Stephen Greenhorn did Lazarus Experiment. So they had already written episodes to Martha.
That's true.
And therefore probably had some comfort in writing for her again when she came back. Whereas this time around, not many writers really got a look in writing for Ruby, so maybe handing that character to somebody who's not written for Doctor Who or for that character in a while
you're so right.
could be a challenge.
You are so right. Well done.
This is honestly,
why we do this.
I for a while there, I thought my brain had just gone so Sonic focused that the Sonic Screwdrivers just didn't play a part anymore. But as soon as we chat for 20 minutes, it's all coming back.
It's all coming back to me now.
Speaking of, can I show you some cool things I got while we've been away, Crispy?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's have a bit of show and tell.
Look at these.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the Doctor Who theme things. I realise it could have been anything.
yeah.
I get that now, but
Hey, what's going on? What are these?
We got the
Describe
Doctor
them
Who
for the
figures
audience.
from the B&M. Well, the B&M in the UK is where they sell. I managed to get both of the figures that were released. So we got Friends and Foes of the Doctor, or Friend and Foes. It's River Song, a Cyber Leader, and a Clockwork Robot. I find it incredibly funny that it says it's the 10th Doctor, but River Song is wearing an outfit she wore for the 11th, but let's not argue too much there.
Nice.
And then also a Dalek 2-pack, another one of these History of the Daleks.
Gosh.
Number 19 of these. They've done a lot of these sets. I think I only have one of them before, because I had Dalek second or something, but
I would
it's two different
love
Daleks and Parting of the Ways,
a
including this
Dalek
very
for my
nice
desk.
black and bronze Dalek. Look at that. So, isn't that cool?
I was just complaining how I'd love a
And you've got one of my
Dalek for my
favourite
desk.
Dalek designs. I stand by it.
It's a clock.
I will die on the hill. Oh, I never realised it was a clock. That's cool.
Yeah, you like go like that and it lights up on the ceiling. I don't know if I can show you.
Whoa, that's funky. I love that.
The
cool as
time,
hell.
like the time projects through this thing.
And what about
So-
the relative dimensions in space?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, good. Very good.
You could say it projects the time across the relative dimensions in the space of your room.
Oh, he's Troy. You're acting like we do this every day.
It is 10:53 p.m. at night, and I am running on. Hang on, let's just ask my smartwatch.
gosh.
What amount of sleep am I running on? 5 hours and 40 minutes of sleep. There is no way my brain should be working at this level, and yet somehow it is.
You are an absolute madman.
Aren't I just? You might even say I'm a bit of a gamer.
Here we go. Mateus, hello.
Hello, Crispy. Hello, Troy. It's Matthias from Croatia. So, my season 2 theories. I hope the new companion, I think she's called Belinda. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure she's called Belinda Chandra. I really hope she's more than Ruby and she questions what the Doctor does. I also hope Mrs. Flood is not some random human. And I hope 15 gets some darkness to him. That's pretty much it.
Great. Good little wish list. Yes, hello. Me?
Hoping for the same thing as you, bit more conflict.
Yeah, I just want. We know Shooty can get mad. I rewatched Boom yesterday. I'm like, God, it was good. The one almost fight they had was perfect when they're trying to do the counterweight thing.
Yeah.
It was so like 12 and Clara coded though, but I enjoyed it
I wonder
so
why.
much. Huh? Wonder what?
I
Yeah,
wonder
is
why
there
that
any,
were the
what's the
case.
common link there is?
Yeah, I think maybe it's like the boots. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, or a certain Mothman.
I need to get my fat brain working on it to figure out.
Oh, good.
What the common link is. I need to. Oh, my brain's turning. My brain is turning. Oh, don't check my browser history while my brain's turning. Insert Moffat references.
But with Belinda, I've seen it thrown around, especially since the trailer, that the entire season is going to be about like her trying to get back home. I think that'll just be an episode 1 thing. That's my hot take. She'll be like,
probably.
get me back home, and then at the end, she'll be like, oh, maybe one more. Or maybe it does lead into the second episode. But I feel like that won't be a season-long arc, because the Doctor, like, as unreliable as the TARDIS is, I feel like the Doctor could have definitely got her back to modern-day London, considering every other episode takes place in modern-day London.
Do you think it could be like an alternate version that's more compressed of Martha's story in Series 3? Because, by the Lazarus experiment, that's meant to be like, oh, I've given you your one free trip, we got a bit carried away, splitting up, and then they make the decision to keep travelling because he's like, no, you know what, you're a proper crew member, yada, yada, yada. Maybe they have something similar like that, where they go about halfway through the series and, like, 15 keeps getting caught up in scrapes, something's wrong with the TARDIS and he can't get her to the right spot or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And eventually, once he can get her there, as you say, and, they go, actually, do you know what, I'll stick around.
I mean, definitely. I'm just very. I hope it's not the same thing. Someone.
Yeah, because
one of our-
I thought in
one of our
saying that,
callers-
people are going to go, oh, recycling ideas.
One of our callers did mention that, being like, oh, you had this young blonde girl with a name that started with R, and then in the second series we get a woman of color working at a hospital. Is someone meddling with time? I think no. I think it's odd that there are these coincidences in RTD2. That is odd, right? That's an odd thing.
Yeah, it is
But
slightly odd.
I think it's too far of a stretch to be like, oh, Mrs. Flood is messing with time and trying to recreate stuff. I don't know.
And now in the second series, you've got a Doctor who's a man with a long coat, He's played
Yeah.
by a Scottish actor.
Yeah,
the similarities. I can't
Too
watch
similar.
this show now.
I can't watch it. RTD's retreading old ground.
He's ruined Doctor Who. He's ruined it, Crispy.
He's ruined it.
He's ruined it. It's that one bit in SpongeBob. Soiled it.
Yeah,
I've got
that's
too
what's
much
going
energy.
on.
What's going on?
That's what I'm very happy for you. Let's hear from.
Why was that the same energy as that one meme that's like, I ain't reading all that, I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, whatever the context is. Hey, here's one of the Troy House. Isn't this your mum's favorite film, Coraline? Don't we say that every time?
Yeah. Coraline, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Hello.
Hi, Troy. Hi, Crispy. So, 2 theories. First, I really hope I'm wrong, but I think we won't have a definite answer on the Mrs. Flood mystery. And second, I think the Timeless Child will be mentioned again, at least regarding the doctor, psyche, or mental health.
Oh, very good call.
Crispy,
very
can you
good
play
call.
a regular theme that we occasionally use? We used to do weekly, but now we occasionally do whenever the time is right.
Oh.
You know of what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Drum roll,
gosh. Oh, gosh. Is it this?
Okay, I can't keep that up. I've
Is
got
it-
strength in my arms.
It's poll time?
I think, ladies and gentlemen, between these 2 episodes, we should put a poll out. So this is us
Sure.
announcing it. I just like the theme ones to use it.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's actually a very good question that Coraline's put out. Do we actually think that Mrs. Flood's mystery is going to be solved in season 2, or is Russell going to push it out even further?
Very nice. Very nice.
Should we give our
I
answers
hope
now, or should we let the audience vote first? What do you think?
Well, I'm giving my answer.
Let's set our camps. All right, should we let's yes or no? Will the mystery be solved? We'll go 3, 2, 1, go. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think it has to be, right?
Yeah.
People
Like,
will be annoyed.
And again, going back to what we said, Russell said in one of the commentaries, I think it was, or Unleashed, I can't remember now, it's been a little bit, but he confirmed that, it was initially given a 2-season order, and so he wrote some stories intentionally to carry into that second season so that when you watch everything together, it will all connect a bit better.
Yeah.
If you write that 2-season story, and what the biggest plot thread that's still unanswered right the way through still isn't solved by then that's just, as Deadpool would say, that's just lazy writing,
Yeah. It has to be. This was done. The introduction, of Mrs. Flood was before season 1 even began.
Yeah,
This
Russell,
has been
if
ongoing.
you really don't solve it, and I've set you up as a mocking comment towards you, I'm sorry, mate. I do love you, but I really hope you do answer this by the end of season 2. I'm
there's gotta be
standing my guns
something.
there. You gotta solve it, mate.
Well, I feel like maybe I am misremembering, but what Caroline just said was that maybe it's not fully answered. I'm expecting some answers with Mrs. Flood. We know Mrs. Flood is going to be in it in some capacity. So I hope there's something, even if it's just slowly chipping away. If they give us nothing the whole season and she's just being mysterious and popping up, I'll be annoyed. I'll be intrigued, but I'll be annoyed if nothing comes to fruition from that. That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents right there.
Okay.
Okay. And Timeless Child, do you think that'll be brought up again?
It could be. They've kind of established it as a key part of his character and bringing it up.
Did somebody say Timeless Child? Baby, you are the Timeless Child, the Timeless Child.
I couldn't help myself. Now Troy is completely under a blanket. Troy is shutting off from the program. Oh, he's shaking his head. Oh, Troy.
Oh, that's trippy. Oh, that's really weird. The Prince of Sonic and Shadow are blurring in my eyes as I shake left to right.
Oh,
now
wow.
I feel like I've walked out the shower with a cap on.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's
I
giving
like
me
it.
weird audio cancellation. I can't hear my own voice in my ears anymore. This is weird. Ooh,
But
how do I
finally,
sound,
some
Crispy?
relief.
I'm all... Oh, thanks. Sorry, that was unnecessary. Gee whiz. Blimey. I'm not taking pot shots at you, mate. Why are you taking pot shots at me?
I was saying, I don't know. I'm having fun.
I'm going to have to get my knuckles out, mate. I'm going to have to get my knuckles out. All right,
don't
get my
you dare.
knuckles
Yeah,
out.
there it is. Yeah, there it is,
my
everybody.
knuckles.
Showing the Sonic character Knuckles to the screen for our audio listeners.
Yeah, he's a ball. Drop my
Troy,
knuckles
we got
ball.
one more caller in us, and then I've got to go to work and make a living.
What do you think I'm going to do?
You are going to throw that blanket on your head again and go to sleep because it's currently 11 p.m.
Good idea. Good night.
No, not yet. Not yet. We got one more caller. Oh gosh. Let's hear from Vincent. Hello, Vincent.
Hey guys, Vincent here from the outside, because I'm outside. And I don't have any theories. I just want to say Happy New Year. So, next caller.
Happy New Year, Vincent.
I mean, he said next caller, Crispy. You got to pick one more.
Oh,
What's this? I hear someone ringing in. Ring. Hi, guys. I think season 2 is going to be epic. Wow, whoever said that. I like the positivity. I rate it.
Wow.
I rate it.
Wow.
You know? That was cool.
Crazy. Great positivity. We love it. Hey, we're back. Season 4. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around and coming back to Who's There. We appreciate you. It's been a wild start to the year, but we got some crazy stuff planned. It's going to be good.
Yeah. I feel free as a bird. Call Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Excuse me?
The song, Free Bird.
I don't know the song Free Bird. Should I?
No, you don't know a song now.
What's happening?
You need to listen to Free Bird after this, okay?
Okay,
That's your
I
homework.
will. Okay, I will.
That's your homework. Everyone hold him to it. Make sure that he's at him on Twitter, at Crispy Pro. Listen to Free Bird.
Okay, we could do that if anyone's listened this far.
Yeah. People are listening this far. If you've listened this far, comment bingle bongle dingle dangle yickety doo yickety da ping pong lippy tappy tootar.
Yeah,
if you
nice.
can't remember that, or just put bingle. That'll do.
Thank you.
We're gonna get so many more comments now, mate. This is gonna prove that everyone listens to these episodes right the way through.
Eat it up.
In fact, if you're listening on audio platforms, I dare you to load up the video version of this podcast right now and go comment bingle. Okay?
Thank you.
I want
Thank
bingle
you.
spam in the comments.
Appreciate you.
Wait, listen, mate. The more comments you get, the more engagement you get, the more your video gets out there. So this is actually a big plan. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh, sorry. Everyone comment bingle for no other reason, just because we love it and we think it's funny. No, also because it'd be funny. Anyway, Crispy's got to get to work, and I've got to go to sleep, which I will do in probably about 3 hours and have no excuse for it. So we're going to wrap up here. So thank you all very much for listening to our first episode back of Who's There. And man, I think we hit the ground running. This was fun. I'm glad to be back, mate. The joints have loosened, the mouth has opened, and it's not going to shut again for another year. You're in for a good time. You all are. You asked for this. You all asked for more of this.
You all asked for it. You're all
I know
as
you like
guilty as each
Crispy.
other.
I know you have to tolerate me, but you asked for more of it, so...
No, we need it. We need it.
Do we, though?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, mate. Right, well, we'll see you all next week, because we've got some cool things coming up, including the theme of next week's episode is... don't look at me like that, mate. I'm desperately single. Just stop rubbing it in. Stop rubbing it in, mate. Stop rubbing it in.
Well, maybe next week can help you with that. We might find love for Troy next week.
You're trying to set me up with someone from the audience, and I don't like that insinuation at all.
We might find love for Troy. That's right. Next week we are doing a YouTuber dating experiment.
Yeah. And it's for 2 very special days of February. If you're in a relationship, you're celebrating Valentine's Day. If you're single and also a fan of How I Met Your Mother, then you're celebrating Desperation Day. Either or,
Either or, correct.
I don't really think Desperation Days age that well, but I can at least make the reference to a show that I like, okay? We can just leave it at that,
There's some stuff in that show that's like...
I mean, it was early noughties. There are some comments where it's like, all right, but it's say it's a product of its time.
Yep.
I love the think of it, but there's a couple of bits of wording in there where you're like, ooh, that wouldn't go now.
Yeah, it's true.
And rightfully so, in fairness. But it's still a great TV show, One misused word does not a bad show make. At least if the show is old. If it's now, maybe less. Maybe more so.
Yeah, I agree.
Welcome to the political commentary section of Who's There, Doctor Who podcast. And we wrap up there. We finish, though, with... what's that regular feature with, like, the alliterative letters? I can't remember. Like... Closing comments of Crispy, is it?
Crispy's closing comments.
Oh, that's the one. Crispy, your closing comments. My good sir.
I haven't been that excited for Doctor Who in the start of the year. However, ever since the end of today, I'm very keen for Doctor Who to come back. I'm excited. I'm excited for this podcast to be back.
It's
as well.
just seen Talk to Me, isn't it? That's the only reason.
It's true. It's true. How do they do that thing?
For the audio listeners, I'm giving Crispy a heart. I'm not actually pulling it out of my chest. I'm doing a heart symbol.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Crispy, you can have it. Here you are.
Thank you. Appreciate
Last
that.
Christmas. Okay, everyone, we're going to leave it there. Thank you all very much for listening and watching this episode of Who's There Doctor Who podcast. We'll be back next week to talk about more Doctor Who things, maybe in a certain department, because we're smooth operators. You know, we're the operators for the calls. We actually operate the calls, so that kind of works. We are the smooth operators.
We're the smooth operators. We'll use that.
We'll use that
Who
next operators. Crispy, can you do a jingle? It's just Who operators.
Sure, I'll make that for next week.
Can you do that, please?
Yeah,
I'm begging you.
Yeah, okay. Who
Oh my
operators?
god. Oh
you
my
got
god,
it.
I'm so excited for next week. See you all next week. Let's end the episode. The sooner we end it, the sooner we get there. See you all next week. Until then, it's goodbye from Crispy.
Goodbye.
That's goodbye from me. See you next week. Alan Z, baby.
Hello, Z.